Hey guys, yeah, it is Sunday, June 13th. It is about 2:43 p.m. in the afternoon, and yes, I do have the place to myself because my mom is off running some errands. She's washing her truck. She's taking some bread and some bagels to my older sister because me and her kind of overcompensated when it came to the bread department, if you know what I mean. Long story short, when I went shopping, I got some bread, and then she went a little shopping after she got off work, and she got some bread, and we kind of didn't communicate with each other that, oh, I got bread and she didn't need to, and stuff like that. And basically, she didn't call me and ask if I got bread, and I didn't let her know after I shopped that I had done so. So it was kind of like miscommunication on both ends. But that's not what I want to talk about here. What I want to talk about is something I've been noticing when it comes to the created wrestling community, or CAW community, if you will, especially when it comes to the WWE 2K series. And it's something that I've noticed recently in the past several months, if not the past year, if not a couple of years. And I'm sure I'm not the only one alone in noticing that. So let's talk about it. Now, what I'm talking about is, several years ago, when this whole downloadable uploading option was given to us by WWE Games and THQ, and then later carried on by 2K, I should say. When that option was given to us, a lot of us were happy. A lot of us were, thrilled at the fact that we could download and upload and share, our creations with others. We could upload our created wrestlers, arenas, and championships, for others to, for others to download and utilize themselves, and vice versa. They could upload and, share, their creations and stuff with us to download and utilize as we please. So that was all cool. That was a cool feature that they, had put in, a cool option that they had put in. But when I started doing it, all of a sudden, I started to get criticized. And I wasn't the only one. There were others that were getting criticized as well. And it was by people that basically said, hey, you didn't get our permission, we don't want our character in your league because of this or that. And to me, when I would hear this, and others that kind of fell in that same category would hear this, we felt that basically it was ridiculous. It was like, well, what's the problem? You're the ones that uploaded your creation, I should say. You're the ones that uploaded your creation to the community for others to download and utilize. You got no one to blame but yourself. But still, they were upset, even to the point that I think they threatened me and others that they would, go to either, 2K or THQ or WWE Games, or even the console server like PlayStation or Xbox, Microsoft, if you will. They did all this just to get us to remove the characters, which we did, which a lot of us did, including myself. Because, we didn't want no trouble, but still, even after we removed them, we felt it was a little ridiculous. Like, well, again, what's the point of doing this since, you're the ones that basically uploaded them to the server, uploaded them to the community for others to utilize? What's the big deal, right? It's not like the behind a paywall or behind a certain, code or something like that only people with that code can unlock to download. It's not like they're behind any of that, so what's the point, right? Anyway, that happened for several years, if not recently, over the past couple of years. But what's interesting, and the one thing I've noticed, and others have noticed in the past year or so, is it hasn't been that prominent as much. Now, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. I don't think that's the case because, the pandemic's kept a lot of us at home, and, That would give more time for people to create their characters and make sure nobody utilizes their creations if they feel that way. Um, so I don't think it's that. I think, honestly, in my opinion, from my point of view, I think, they're realizing, and maybe they have family that's making them realize this. Maybe they have, significant others that are making them realize this. Maybe even some friends, that are talking to them and saying or pointing out how ridiculous it is for them to make an argument over something that, hey, they chose to do, thus allowing others to, download that creation. In other words, what I'm getting at is I think basically someone, like I said, in their families, maybe significant others, maybe close friends, probably pointed out that, hey, you're the ones that chose to upload your creation to this community server, right? Thus, you're the one that's giving the okay to everybody that's in there to download and utilize your character. Thus, you're giving them your permission. So to me, from what I'm noticing, that might be the reason. I mean, I've been using characters lately, to be honest with you, that have been very noticeable or noticeably used, not just noticeable, but noticeably used in places like CCL, in DCA, and CSCAW, and places like that. Even CAS, which is CAW All Stars, CAW All Stars. So, I've been utilizing characters that have been noticed there, and nobody has said anything. Heck, I've been tagging, a lot of these leagues on Twitter, if you will, with some of my live streams and stuff of my weekly shows, or CPVs, or even little exhibitional tournaments with these characters, and nobody said anything. And that's really surprising. That's really like, whoa, this is weird. Usually someone would hop on my back and tell me, hey, don't use my character, but I haven't heard anything. I have not heard a thing. And, that is weird. That is absolutely weird. I mean, I'll admit, maybe I did hear one thing from someone in comments, but that was it. And I haven't really heard anything yet, which is, like I say, which is strange. I mean, I'm even linking these live streams and stuff to the public Facebook pages of, CAW Champions League, DCA, Destiny Championship Alliance, CAW Wrestling, all these places that are public that makes it viewable for a lot of people to see. I'm putting the link onto there, and nobody is saying anything. Nobody. And again, that really surprises me. But again, I think honestly what happened, like I mentioned earlier, is they might have been talked to by their families, maybe the significant others, maybe the friends, or someone that told them, hey, look, you're the one that chose to put your character or your creation on the community, for others to download and utilize. Thus, you're giving them permission, whether you want to admit it or not, to, have access to that character. So I'm wondering if maybe, like I said, their families, the significant others, their friends, some kind of close confidant sat them down and it basically told them straight out, hey, you're the one to put the creation on there. Thus, you gave permission for people to use it, whether you want them to or not. So, I'm just curious. I'm just curious if maybe that's what happened. Now, like I said, I've only heard once so far about something, but that's about it. And that was in comments. Ever since then, I haven't heard anything. I have not heard anything. And I'm also thinking, in a sense, that maybe after everything that's gone down, these people are realizing themselves not just after probably talking to, like I said, family, significant others, friends, close confidants, whatever the case may be, or whoever they may communicate with. I'm thinking honestly, in my opinion, they may have realized that yeah, it is kind of stupid. That maybe they'll realize in themselves that yeah, it is kind of stupid, and that hey, hey, when they basically upload their character to there, that they're giving people permission to use it any way they want, and they got no one to take responsibility for that but themselves. But what's even more unique, in my opinion, from what I could probably tell from my own opinion, is maybe they're realizing, hey, other people can recreate my character. Other people can actually recreate my character, in their copy of the game and utilize it. And that is indeed true. That is indeed true, because I remember recreating in one of my games what a character known as the DCA Empress, Akira Yokoma or something like that. I think that's the last name they gave her. But I recreated her on my own. I recreated her from as best I could, from the outfit she would be primarily known to wear to the ring, to her move set. I did the best I could, and I think it really surprised a lot of people, because they were like, "Whoa, this is almost an exact copy." And I think honestly, again, that's what's hitting home for them, is the fact that there are people out there that can recreate their characters, even if they decide not to upload their characters to the community creations. So, from my point of view, from my opinion, I think it's one of two things, if not both. One, that they've been talked to by their friends, the significant others, the family, close confidants, and basically those people have told them that, hey, once you put that thing under community creations, you're practically giving permission for anyone to download and utilize it any which way they want. And then two, they're probably realizing that's true. They're probably realizing that it's true and that it is kind of ridiculous. But also they're realizing that, even if they don't upload their character to community creation, that people can still recreate that character almost to the exact T. So, yeah, but yeah, with all that, I've been noticing that there's been less complaints and criticisms. And I think, again, they're realizing it's not that big of a deal. People have either told them it's not a big deal, and that, hey, you're the ones that are practically giving permissions when you do it anyway. And also I'm thinking that they're realizing that that, like I said, that it's ridiculous, it's not a big deal, but they're also kind of considering that, hey, others can recreate them in their own game as well. So, yeah, I think they're taking all these factors from my own opinion and my own point of view. I think they're taking all these factors, in mind, they're basically taking all these factors into mind or into consideration, and realizing that, you can complain, you could either one, constantly complain and criticize, or you could just leave it be, and hey, if you don't want to acknowledge them being in this league, in this CAW league, you don't have to. Because if you don't want to acknowledge that CAW league, during your CAW broadcast or your premieres or whatever, that's fine. If you don't want to, acknowledge that this character won this title, in that league, whatever, that's fine too. That's fine too. That is your option. That is your option, if you will. That is your opinion. You have a right to it. And I think they're taking all that into consideration, everything that I mentioned into consideration, and realizing that, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, because one, hey, we're the ones that are allowing it to happen because we uploaded the character. Two, and two, that people can recreate that character, with their own creation suites in the game. And three, that they don't have to really acknowledge the character being in that game or in that league, if they don't want to. So yeah, basically all these factors that I mentioned, I believe, have come in some shape or form, I think, throughout the years, have come into play and have made these people realize that it's not that big of a deal as it used to be, and that, people are going to have these characters in their games no matter what the situation. It's because you uploaded them to the community creation so they can be downloaded, or two, they recreated them themselves. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here. So if I sound like I rambled a bit, but that's basically what it feels like to me. It feels like to me that things have really kind of eased up, calmed down, and now I think they're honestly realizing it's not that big of a deal like it used to be. So let me know. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you kind of noticed this. If you're a creative wrestling fan, if you're someone likes to create wrestlers and fighters and all that, and if your game has that community download option or upload option, let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on this? Let me comment down below. Oh, if you will, in the live chat during the premiere. But let me know how you feel about this. Do you think I'm right about what I'm saying, in my opinion, from my point of view? Or do you think there could be more to it? Let me know down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.